we are starting, the case of, we're discussing the case of Excited Educational Society. As you understand, the Excited Educational Society is basically into education, and here we have been given the balance sheet as on 31st March 2015, and also the income statement for the period 1st April 2014 to 31st March 2015. And we are also given the transactions that has happened after this date, 31st March 2015. So these are the transactions that starting from 1st April 2015 to 31st March 2016. That means the next financial year's transactions were given. And the idea is that we need to prepare an income statement for 15-16 and also a balance sheet for 15-16 from the data of transactions that happened during 2015-16. To do this, if you kind of closely observe the income statement, here you have something called code that is missing in this data. That means this data is only having the date and particulars. Maybe it is hidden here. Let us just pull it out. Yeah, no, it's not there. There is something called ERL, but the code is not there. So basic idea now, just let us think why you need a code. You need a code for each of the the type of expenditure, because if you go by the text that is there in particulars column, there could be an issue of a spelling mistake somewhere, and hence you may be misled. So in accounting or in any huge transactions PS, the codes are used. For example, if you go to a supermarket, you are aware that each product is coded with a barcode. If you go to a library, you see that all books have been coded. So this is to ensure that the similar things are grouped together. So the code will help you. So in this context, I am having the data which is having the codes. Let us say this is how you have coded this. For example, all stationery expenses have been coded as 110. So wherever you get stationery, it is coded as 110. 101 is for salaries, right? 152 is for advertisement expenditure. The same thing is here. 101 for salaries, 106 for telephone, 108 for travel, things like that. So there is a logic on how these are coded. If you look at very simply, the first logic that we understand, all expenses are starting with code 1, and all revenues are starting with code 2, and all liabilities are coded starting with 3, and all assets have been coded starting with 4. So some logic will go into this coding, but the coding is just to ensure that you try to group things together. That's what we're actually doing in preparation of income statement. So what is that I want here? I want the total salary expenditure that I should read from this particular data. So how do I do that? You have very simple functions. How do we do that? Can we use SUMIF? SUMIF. What is the range? Range is this, right? Then what other arguments here? The criteria. Now here, right? Right. Sorry. So here you have to do the criteria range. So the criteria range is this: head of account, and the criteria is will give this. So again, the practice of soft coding. So don't give it as 101. Tomorrow, if you change the code to salary to something else, this should be workable. The sum range is this. So now the salaries are 3,35,000. Isn't this very simple? Then you just drag it down. got all of them? So already what you call 6,70,000 is the total. Now you do here is equal to sum if brackets open. The range is this, and the criteria is now this 201. Then the sum range is here. You have to be careful. Now the sum range is, it is not F, it is E, because I am talking about receipts. I'm talking about receipts. So the tuition fee by students is 3 lakhs, and tuition fee by government is, yeah, there's something wrong. So this is F6, not F7. So the total revenue is 9,70,000. The total expenditure is 6,70,000. So surplus, that is the profit, is 3 lakhs. Now, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let us try the balance sheet. Now let us reflect something. Why you are not able to do this, please? Is it that you don't know the sum if function, or is it that you don't know the profit and loss account? How to make profit and loss account is a domain knowledge. Sum if function is Excel knowledge. Are you not knowing these two things separately, individually, independently? If I would have asked you what is sum if function, all of you would have been answered, right?
Yes, sir.
Then if I asked you independently how to make an income statement, you should have answered, right?
Yes, sir.
Then why is that you are not able to connect these two things?
Sir, we don't have those codes, sir. HOA codes.
No, that's okay. You could have tried it, criteria being something like salaries. See here, because I have given code, I have just in this, I have mentioned B6. Okay. You could have tried it with salaries. That is step 1. Thinking about the problems of using text and then running into, for example, let me just prove a point. See, let me check in the data, let's say telephone expenditure. Let me take this. Now, let me redo this for you here, telephone. Let me calculate here, sum if. The range now I will be taking is this, because I don't have a code. I'm just trying to answer. Then the criteria will be this, telephone expenditure. So let me put it in quotes because it is text. Then sum range is payments. Did we get the answer? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
But we did not get the right answer. But we got some answer. Now the use of codes is to overcome this problem. Somewhere the accountant have misspelled telephone, so it is not capturing. The accountant has not uniformly mentioned this. Somewhere you would have given one space extra. To correct that problem, the code is the solution. But even without code, this idea you should get, that you can fix it using sum if. That is the point that I'm trying to make. You're understanding, and now after almost 10 sittings, we know a lot of Excel functions and we have solved a variety of problems. But still, when you are thrown a new problem, it takes time. Of course, I didn't give you much time. So the point that I'm trying to prove today is very, very simple. That your course is not ending today. It is a lifelong course for all of you. Every time you come out with a problem that you will have to solve using Excel or create a model using Excel, the fundamental principles that I'm teaching you today is very, very simple. It is not those with excellent Excel knowledge will be able to do it, and it is not those with excellent subject knowledge will be able to do it, but it is those who can actually mix and match these two will be able to do it. That's the point. I've understood the point that I'm trying to make you understand.
Yes, sir.
Now I'll give you the next challenge. Now I've shown you some logic, I've shown you some problem. Now test again your ability to connect these two concepts, subject knowledge and Excel knowledge. And now you also know you have a function called SUMIF, which is used to solve this. Now kindly tell me and try and make the balance sheet. Are you ready for this challenge?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So please do try. Just please try and see if you are able to get these figures. That is number one. And see balance sheet. Again, I am telling you, you have to think what is balance sheet, and now you have also a clue how the balance sheet is different from profit and loss account. Now, where will you have to do what, and see how you extract that knowledge from the data given.